let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and get started with today's video talking about the Redeye. All right, so guys, I'm hearing a lot of people with the Redeye. The pricing is out of control. And I'm going to show you guys why I don't think it's worth it. The Redeye is an amazing vehicle, and if you can get it for a good price, then get it, because the platform for the Redeye, like the engine on the Redeye, it's pretty much a Demon motor, and it's going to be a slightly stronger motor than the regular Hellcat motor. But I'm going to show you guys exactly how much stronger it really is, and if you guys let me know if it warrants the price. Prince Collins says it's not that expensive. I'm getting mine this summer. So Prince Collins, like I said before, I'm not against the Redeye. I think the Redeye is an amazing vehicle. The problem I'm seeing is I'm already hearing about dealerships that are charging over sticker price for the Redeye, meaning they think they have another Demon on their hands and they're going over sticker. So when I bought my 18 wide body, I've already had mine for a year, and I ordered mine the day you could literally place your order. The big problem I had with it was I shopped around, I called a few dealerships, and when I got my wide body a year ago, they were trying to make me pay over sticker. And then I found this one dealership, the one that I bought it from, which the best price that they were willing to give me was sticker price. Mango 392, what's up, man? How you doing? So my 18 wide body, I literally had to pay sticker price 1 year ago, because back then that was like the hottest thing you could pretty much buy from Dodge. The Demon, you still weren't even able to order the Demon yet. So fast forward a year later, my viewers are telling me now that some dealerships are selling my exact 18 like wide body. It's probably 19 now. They're selling them for $8,000 to $9,000 under sticker, okay, under MSRP. So now, what's the new hot thing right now? It's the wide body Redeye Hellcat. So that Hellcat Redeye is the hot new thing. Dealerships know this, and a lot of dealerships are charging over stickers. So we got a Hellcat Redeye that's in the 90-something thousand dollar range. It's ridiculous. And I've been hearing of some crazy markups on that Redeye. But like I said, if you have a dealership that is charging you a good price and you can get it at sticker or preferably below sticker, I mean, that's really where you want to be, because you don't want to be in the situation that I'm at, where I paid sticker price and now 6 months to a year later, dealerships are selling them for $8,000 to $9,000 below sticker. Some dealerships, and you have excuse me, and you have to hunt around for it. Now, power wise, this is what I want to show you. Demonology, my buddy Demonology, he made a video, and it's a great video, and I'm going to show it to you guys right now on the screen. In this video, he brought his Hellcat and his Dodge Demon to the same dyno. I believe it was even on the same day. So now we're going to compare apples to apples. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because the Redeye is pretty much supposed to be a Demon motor, like a detuned Demon motor, pretty much. So it's going to be like a slightly detuned version, I should say, of the Demon motor. Meaning, you have a Demon motor on the stock PCM without the race fuel, and that's supposed to be 800 horses. Now, my Hellcat, and well, not my Hellcat, all Hellcats, a lot of people, if you dyno your Hellcat, you know it's underrated, and they make a lot more power than 707. So I'm not going to assume anything. I'm going to show you guys like proof right now of the difference, because if best case scenario, the Hellcat Redeye, this is my assumption because I don't think I haven't seen any Redeyes on the dyno yet. But best case scenario, the Redeye Hellcat, let's just say it matches the power on the dyno that a Demon has when it's not running on race fuel, which is 800 horses. The Redeye is supposed to be 797. The Demon's 800 without the race fuel. What's up, Alpha Mac? And the Demon's 800 and the other one's 797. And they're saying it's a detuned version of the Demon, so it could actually make even less. So let's go ahead. I'm going to bring up this video that Demonology did so I can show you guys the difference. People who have a Hellcat, and this is the reason why I'm not even gonna, it is not worth it to me to upgrade to a Redeye. And the reason why I say that is because I already own a wide body. So if I didn't have a wide body, if I didn't own a wide body at this moment and I was looking to get into one of these vehicles, to be honest with you, I would be buying an 18 Hellcat wide body, or I would get a Redeye if I could get a dealership that is willing to go under sticker, and maybe I would have to go out of state, who knows. But let me just bring up this video. Demonology, perfect. I'm actually showing your video right now. The difference with the Demon is the suspension. Okay. Well, I don't know. I've been hearing some people say that it's like a slightly detuned version of it. But Demonology, I'm showing your video because your video demonstrates exactly what I've been telling people all along. So, guys, if you don't know who Demonology is, make sure you go and subscribe. Look him up on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel. He's probably like one of the best demon drivers out there right now. But let me just show you guys in the video when he dynoed it. Go ahead and pull this up. Let me know if you guys could hear this. I'm going to go to 414. Hold on a second. So this is Demonology's...
There's no such thing as a perfect rider. This is
all right, I'm sorry, Demonology, but I'm going to have to skip your ad because we got people on the live stream. Hold on a sec.
I use Grammarly to check my work.
I'm putting commas.
Here we go. So this is Demonology's Hellcat. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but let's fast forward to his dyno results. Okay, so guys, here you'll see this is how much power his Hellcat made. He made 670 horses to the wheels on his Hellcat. Now, let's go ahead. I'm going to show you the dyno results he had on his Demon when he was running the stock PCM on 93 octane. So remember, 670 on the Hellcat. And I'm showing you this so you guys can see that there's not that much of a power difference between like the Hellcat and a Redeye. Now, if you're going to modify the Redeye, and let's say you did the same mods to the Hellcat and the Redeye is probably going to end up making, I don't know, and maybe another 30, 40, maybe 50 horses more than the Hellcat if you mod it. But I'm saying just kind of like stock for stock, sort of. Let me just show you. Let me fast forward to the Demon dyno results here. I think it's a 1054. This is his Demon right here. All right, here we go, guys. Okay, so here you see he made 704 to the wheels on his Demon. So we had 670 before, 704 on the Demon. So there's literally a difference of 34 horses. Now, Dodge claims that the Hellcat only has like 707 horses, but I can tell you, I know my Hellcat dynoed at 672. So in reality, I'm expecting the Redeye, once it goes on the dyno, I'm expecting similar results. I'm expecting that the Redeye is probably going to have a difference of like 30 horses compared to a Hellcat. So Mod to Fame, if you don't know who he is, check him out also. Mod to Fame, he has a Hellcat. He has the regular Hellcat. All he did was, I think he threw in a drop-in filter. He didn't even buy a cold air intake like I did on my car. He just threw in a regular drop-in filter, and he loaded up a canned tune from Diablo. And I truly believe if you take any Hellcat and you just buy yourself a cold air intake, load up a Diablo can tuned, and you're going to be neck and neck with a Redeye, pretty much. I mean, I think that will literally make up for that difference of those 30 horses or whatever it is. I think after you do a tune and you load up the you install that cold air intake, both vehicles are going to be pretty much neck to neck. Now look at the price difference. I mean, for my 18 wide body, I think the sticker price on mine was around 78, something like that, around 78,000. So now imagine you buy like a vehicle like I have, like my 18 wide body, and now you're paying maybe 68 versus paying 90 something thousand dollars for a Redeye. Now again, guys, if you can get the Redeye below MSRP, then get that vehicle. But for the people who are going to the dealerships and dealers are telling you, hey, you have to pay over sticker, that's just the going rate, I would strongly consider getting the regular wide body Hellcat, because honestly, the difference is going to probably be around 30 horses. That's what I'm guessing, comparing it to the Demon, since it's supposed to be pretty much just like a Demon motor. Alpha Mac here is saying, will the Redeye spoiler be available? Actually, it already is. I already seen some people on Facebook. That spoiler is available, and you can install it on your Hellcat for sure. I seen somebody selling it on Facebook. Some guy you could definitely get it. Now with my wide body, you guys already know. I already installed the Demon drive shaft, and I got the rear differential with the 309 gears. Oh, hold on. We got Demonology calling over here. Hold on. Let's see. What's up, brother?
JMC, what's going on?
Let me just plug in my charger real quick so that you don't die over here. You had perfect timing for coming in on this live stream.
Yes, sir.
So I was showing.
Hey, man, yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
So I was showing everybody your video because, you know, I saw that video of yours when you did the dyno, and that's awesome that you did the dyno you used the same dyno for both vehicles, the Demon and the Hellcat. And
at the same day.
Exactly, same day. So, I mean, you couldn't have possibly set up a more perfect scenario to show people the difference in power.
Well, you know, the biggest thing about that dyno that a lot of people did not realize was that my Hellcat was a 2015 Hellcat. And all the people at that shop where I dynoed that vehicle have seen other Hellcats dynoed. And they were amazed that the 2015 seemed to put out more output than other Hellcats.
Gotcha.
And what people got to realize is that when the 2015 came out, I think they gave it a little bit more juice. And after 2015, they kind of slowed down with some of the power on the other vehicles. Now, the biggest thing with the Demon and the Redeye, which I believe you're absolutely right. To me, I would rather buy a Hellcat over trying to get the Redeye. The Redeye will not be the Demon. The biggest thing with that Demon is the suspension and the transfer weight.
Yep.
Now, right now in the Demon community, a lot of people don't know this, but the Demons have a major issue with the Demon suspension. The Demon suspension is what makes the car. The Demon can beat cars that are 1,000 horsepower to the rear wheel, some even 1,200 horsepower to the rear wheel, because it transfers the weight and gets you down the track.
Yep.
Just to give it an example, a car like the Copo Camaro, a non-aspirated car, just engine only, is about 600 horsepower. Because it's a back half car, has a 4-link drag suspension on it, and it weighs about 3,200 pounds. That car can do the quarter in 9.2 seconds.
Wow.
So people get confused with horsepower. If you remember when I raced you in Benny's Demon,
yeah.
The thing about Benny's Demon is that it transferred so much weight to the rear tire that it pulled the front end off the ground, full interior, 315s on the front of the car, and was able to win the race by 60-foot times.
Definitely.
So my Demon is finally fixed. I just left the track tonight, and I was amazed that running my car with 93 octane, I was able to get my front tires off the ground, 60-foot the car. I won every race I ran
Awesome.
against modded and unmodded cars. So what makes the Demon is the suspension. Now, the other car that's going to get the Demon suspension is going to be the 1320.
Yeah.
The 1320 is going to be unaspirated. So by that, the 1320 will have the great 60-foot, but it will not have the power that the Demon has. So the biggest difference with the Demon and the Redeye is the suspension, period. So people who think,
one thing you're right. For as far as the track is concerned, the Demon, I mean, you want that Demon suspension. There's no question about it, because that vehicle puts the power down. And so that's what it's all about. It's not about adding more horsepower, but someone like, I think I've heard Tunnel Chaser mention it a few times, and a couple of other people, I mean, for someone like you, you're at the track every week, pretty much. So for someone like you, the Demon is perfect. But for other people that are using, I mean, there's people out there that were using the Demon almost like as their daily driver. Now, they were complaining about the suspension because it's not like an ideal suspension, they were saying, for like an everyday driver.
Well, I believe that's a bunch of bull
Okay.
because I have almost 16,000 miles on my Demon, so I
Wow.
daily drive my Demon. The thing about the Demon is when you go into the drag suspension, it only works when you launch the vehicle. Once the vehicle starts going down the track, it actually turns into a sports suspension. So, for example, if I put my Demon in the drag suspension and I take off at a red light and start driving, it immediately transfers into sport suspension as you're driving around. But the Demon suspension is for the launching of the car, transferring the weight. If you remember the initial videos that Dodge put out, they constantly talked about how it transferred weight from the front to the rear to get the car going. Once the car got going, it takes that suspension off. So I daily drive my Demon. It feels just, as a matter of fact, it drives better than my Hellcat.
Hold on. So quick question.
Yeah.
On your Demon, right? So on my Hellcat, I have track mode, I got sport mode, and like regular street mode for the, for the suspension. So on your Demon, you have drag mode, which obviously I don't have. You have drag mode, but do you have like a track mode or like a regular street mode also, or no?
Yes, on the Demon, you have street mode, sport mode, and drag mode.
So when you go into street mode,
and of course we all got Econo mode.
Okay, so when you go into street mode, how does that street mode feel compared to your regular Hellcat? And keep in mind, the reason why I'm asking this is because I just saw a video from David Van Voris. He made a video. He was test driving the Redeye, and he said compared to driving his brother's Demon, I think he was saying how much stiffer the suspension is.
This is the deal with the street mode. The street mode to me felt better than the Hellcat's street mode. The street mode was very comfortable, and I contribute that to the tires. The Hellcat has 20-inch tires on them. Demon has 18-inch tires, which has more cushioning in the tires.
Yeah.
So what's happening is that my Demon is absorbing shocks. It's absorbing potholes. It's absorbing bumps in the road. With my Hellcat, when I hit those same bumps, I'm being jarred. I'm being shaken around. So to give you an example, it's like driving your Hellcat on track mode. Drive your Hellcat around on track mode.
Yeah.
And every bump you touch, you're gonna feel it.
Exactly.
And it kind of gets annoying, But then you put your Hellcat on street mode and everything smooths itself out. Well, the same thing with the Demon. You're on street mode, it's all smoothed out. When you're on sport mode, it stiffens up like a track mode on the Hellcat.
So what about taking turns?
Excuse me?
What about taking turns in your Demon versus the Hellcat?
You say taking turns in the Demon versus that? The taking turns was fine. I did not have an issue with taking turns in the Demon. Did not have the body roll. One thing that the Demon has that my Hellcat didn't have is it had a automatic suspension. So I would take the turn in my Hellcat on street mode, and it was soft and spongy, and you could feel it roll. The Demon with auto suspension, I would take a turn. It's a particular turn on the freeway, that I would take an exit, and the Demon would automatically stiffen itself up.
Okay.
Now I don't know if your wide body Hellcat has that suspension.
The suspension of my wide body is different from your Hellcat suspension for sure.
Okay. Now, does your wide body have an auto adjusting suspension?
I believe it does.
Okay, well then ride with that auto adjusting suspension and take a curve hard, and it will stiffen the car up. And that's what my Demon does. I can be in street suspension, or let's put it this way: I drive around in auto mode. Is what I like to drive around in.
Yeah.
But I'm just going nice and slow and soft. It's a spongy, soft suspension. When I get on it, it automatically stiffens itself up without me going in and making an adjustment.
Gotcha.
And this is what I was having to do with my Hellcat. I would be driving. I say, "Oh man, here's this big turn right here from 287 going to I-20, and man, I want to hit that turn." I had my car programmed where I hit the SRT button twice. Boom, boom, and it goes into track mode. And then I can take that and I feel real good. But my Demon, I don't have to do that. I just put it in auto. I see that same turn. I hit the turn, and the car adjusts itself automatically. I'm telling you, the Demon is a better driving suspension. If you have that suspension, you should try that on your Hellcat.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. On my Hellcat, because this is the thing, I always hear now, and now you're convincing me even more now that some of these Demon. I've been saying it all along though. That a lot of these Demon owners just don't know how to drive their cars, because the one complaint that I even heard it from Tunnel Chaser, I believe, where he was saying, "Oh, it can't take turns." Now, my wide body Hellcat, well, forget my wide body. Back my 2012 392 Challenger, I was taking turns in that Challenger. In my wide body can take hard turns. It just hugs the road. People keep saying that, oh no, these vehicles are too heavy. They're boats. They can't take turns, and that's nonsense. Like, I mean, I could take some turns and I'll scare the crap out of people when they're sitting in the passenger seat of my car. It really hugs the road really well. It has these wide tires in the front and the rear.
Yeah, I think people get confused with looking at road racing videos on a road course. You have to realize when you're on a road course, it is a perfect road surface. It doesn't have any bumps in it. It doesn't have a lot of oil, debris. It doesn't have. It doesn't sway up and down. Have dips and turns. Like a regular city street. I mean, you gotta understand what I'm saying. If you're on a city street and you take a turn at 100 miles an hour and you hit a pothole, man, that's it.
Yeah.
You're in the ditch.
Yeah.
You're in oncoming traffic.
Yeah.
On a road course, you will not get that. And so I think people confuse themselves by watching people do road racing, thinking, oh my goodness, this Mustang or this Camaro, look at how well it drives on this road course. And this nobody's going to be driving a car to that extreme on a public street. And if you are, you're a fool, because you're putting your life in danger as well as everyone else's life in danger. Okay. Now, if you want to have fun on a little road course, I'm going to tell you one of the best cars ever driven on one of those little road courses, believe it or not, is a darn Mazda Miata.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys that do that.
It feels like a darn go-kart. Yeah. Where you can feel that car. You become one with that little Miata, and you can slide it and turn it in and out of curbs and stuff like that. When in the hell do you drive like that on a public road?
I know.
There's
no way.
Let's be serious, people.
Well, so this is a thing, and I'm willing to bet you anything, because it's like I hear that with the Camaros and the Mustangs, how well they can handle and all this nonsense. And I'm willing to bet you put me on a road course with a Camaro or a Mustang. I'm not talking about a professional driver. I'm talking about a regular driver, because a professional driver, he will push it to those limits and he will do better. But I'm willing to bet you anything. My wide body Hellcat on a road course versus anybody's Mustang or Camaro, meaning it's an average driver, not a professional driver. And I'm willing to bet you anything I'm going to be right there on their ass. I'm not going to be falling behind. I will drive it just as well.
100% you will be. And just to give you an example, Mod the Fame is another YouTube channel, that we're friends with. Well, his friend Eugene was able to drive his car, Cheapo Kitty, on a road course, and it happened to be raining.
Yep, I remember that.
I believe it was a Camaro in front of him or some other different cars. They were sliding all over the place. Yeah. And all those and man, that Challenger was hugging the road and doing what it was, and everybody was complaining. Oh, the Challenger, the weight of it was allowing it to hug the road while all the other cars was sliding all over the place. Look.
People make excuses no matter what.
Exactly, James. People make excuses and they don't realize that when you're on a public street, this is what most people do on a public street. They see a straight line and they floor it. Boom. There you go. Now, when they get ready to take a curve, everybody brakes and brings the car down. Who do you know turns a corner at 120 miles an hour?
Of course. On the streets, they're never going to use those cars to the full ability unless it's a professional driver, like I said.
Even a professional driver. Look on the street. Nobody, guys, be real. Nobody turns at 130, 120 miles an hour on the street. When they when they're doing those type of speeds, 120, 130, they're on a straight line, going straight ahead on open freeway. You know, so if you look at that, so where are they really putting down the power? And your wide body Hellcat will dominate in that field also.
And Mod to Fame did really well. And keep in mind, he's not even driving a wide body Hellcat. So imagine a wide body Hellcat with the 315s or even the stock 305s that it comes with.
The wide body Hellcat handles a hell of a lot better than the Hellcat.
Yeah.
Because of the wide tires.
Definitely. Let me see your lamp. $2. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Got a donation there. Yeah. So I mean, so Demonology, in your opinion, if you were gonna go, if you didn't own your Hellcat or your Demon right now, what's your vote? Would you go for the Hellcat or would you pay the $90-something thousand that some of these dealers are charging already for the Redeye?
First of all, if I wanted a Redeye, I would only buy it at cost. I bought my Demon at cost. Right now, I have a friend at a place called Ennis Ford in Texas, ENNIS. His name is Greg Wilborn. Nickname is Third Degree. He's selling a Redeye at cost. So that Redeye will be coming in. Ennis Ford also owns a Dodge dealership, but they have the Redeye coming in at cost, period.
When you say cost, are you saying invoice or MSRP?
Sticker.
Oh, sticker.
MSRP.
Okay. Gotcha.
MSRP. So they're not marking it up. Now, what I know now about my Hellcat and what I know now about the Demon, to me, what I would buy, and even a wide body, to me, what I would buy is I would try to go and find a used 2015 Hellcat automatic transmission.
Yeah.
Low miles, and that's what I would try to purchase.
Yeah.
Now, if I just wanted, I'm talking about just pure performance, all the way around pure performance. Now, this is the thing. I would put 315s on that 2015 Hellcat. On my 2015 Hellcat, I put 315s on the rear of my car, and I put some 315s on the front. Can you believe that my car looked better? It looked like my old school car back in 1980.
Yeah.
When everybody had the big meat sticking out on the back of the car.
Definitely.
You know, I mean, I love the way it looked. I love the way it it drove. And so that's what I would do because, look, JMC, I sold my Hellcat because my wife, she wanted a Lexus. We were not upside down on a Hellcat, and we were able to put some money in on the Lexus. I was going to let my Hellcat go for, I believe, $3,200. Nope. I put it out there. If somebody wanted to give me, I think I said $3,200 to $3,500. It's yours and it's gone.
You mean $35,000?
Yeah. Excuse me.
I would, if not, I would have bought that off of you myself.
Excuse me. Man, it's late at night.
Yeah.
32,000 to 35,000 is what I said I would let that vehicle.
That's incredible. That's an incredible price.
Do you know that I want to say that vehicle had maybe 40,000 miles or something like that on it. I can't even remember the mileage.
Yeah.
Do you know the Lexus dealership gave us, I want to say $45,000 for that car.
Awesome.
And I asked the Lexus guy, I said, why are you giving me so much for this? He said the 2015 was the only car that came with, I think, like a 60 or 75,000 mile powertrain.
Okay.
You know, he said the other Hellcats, like your Hellcat, doesn't come with that extended powertrain.
Okay. So
he said the warranty on the powertrain on your 2015 alone was enough for them to bump it up and give me big dollar for it because they can turn around and say, somebody may ought to check that out, Google it, see what the warranty is on a 2015 Hellcat powertrain compared to the rest. Yeah. So that's why I would go that 2015.
Oh, and it's I mean, you're going to get it at an incredible price. I mean, now, for me personally, I love the look of the wide body. I feel like
if you love the look for the wide body, go with the wide body.
Exactly. Yeah. I just feel like it gives it a more muscular look. Plus, now you got the nice wide wheels on the back already. You know, you got supposedly the Demon axles are on the back of it already. It comes with it. Demon axles. Yeah. And then I went ahead and, I already added my Demon diff, rear diff and the Demon drive shaft on mine. So, by the way, I'm doing the mods on my Hellcat.
So you are doing some mods on your Hellcat.
I have an appointment with HHP in Delaware. It's going to be going to HHP. It's supposed to be going at the end of the month. Now, there's a new pulley that came out. Have you heard about that already or no?
What is that, the Hellraiser, or what is it?
So, yeah, so the Hellraiser came out like a couple months ago or whatever with the 272 pulley, right? Now, I didn't feel comfortable doing a 272 just because the most common upper pulley swap that everybody's been doing without having to pin the lower one was a 285. So now,
Right.
Hellraiser, they're doing a Hellraiser 285 pulley that's coming out this month. So it's going to have the clutch on that pulley. So it's going to be very similar to the OEM one. You're not putting additional stress on that supercharger. So I'm doing the 285, not doing anything too crazy. I'm not going to ever run race fuel or E85. I'm not going to do any of that. Just 285 upper pulley, doing the 1050 injectors just so that, you know, it has enough fuel, and that's it. And then the tune, obviously, and that's it. I'm not doing anything crazy, but people that are doing that mod, they're in the high 700s. I mean, some people even make it to 800, and that's a 93 octane. I'm going to tell them up front, look, I'm not trying to squeeze every little bit of horsepower out of it. I'd rather have the reliability. So give me a nice, reliable tune. If I end up with 780 to the wheels or something like that, hey, that's more than enough for me.
Yeah. JMC, this is what I would do if I were you. Okay. Obviously, my name has been out there because I've been racing the Hellcat, and excuse me, because I've been racing my Demon like crazy all over the place. And maybe I shouldn't share this information, but I was at SEMA and I spoke to a lot of interesting individuals. And one individual came up to me and he said, look, if you're going to do anything to a Hellcat or to a Demon, wait on the new supercharger. The new supercharger, the one that is in the Elephant, will automatically go over to the Hellcat and will go over to the Demon.
Yeah.
And you will not have to pin the crank. It has a clutch on it. You can run it on pump gas. It's going to give you all the power that you need. And
that's also going to be very expensive, though. That's a very expensive.
No, it's not going to be very expensive because it's a direct bolt-on. The supercharger is not going to be very expensive. It's a direct bolt-on, and it's a genuine Dodge part.
I would assume it's going to run like 10 grand or something like that for that supercharger.
No, I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I mean, this is what these guys were telling me.
Yeah.
They're at SEMA, and they said you will be amazed. This is the thing to me, JMC, and a lot of people, they may get upset, by hearing me say this. I'm at the track strip, 3 days a week. I love it. I enjoy it. And it's nothing wrong with modding your car, but I'm going to tell you, the majority of cars that are busted down on the track are modded cars.
Yeah,
it's something I talked about. So once you start modding, you want to squeeze a little bit more juice, a little bit more juice. Me, myself, I kind of sit back and watch. I try to look at the angles. If I was a mod shop, why would I build a car where the guy pushes it so far, he has a good time with it for 3-4 months, broken down, now it's back in car jail. That's what I call it, car jail.
Yeah.
So I see tuners, I see guys checking their cars, and they get so upset. People, they don't talk about this. They'll be with this tuner, boom, boom, boom. They find out the tuner did this, then they go over here to this tuner.
Yeah.
This tuner keeps them for a little bit, then that tuner pushes it till the car breaks. Then the other tuner says, hey, no wonder the car broke. What idiot would put this on the car? Yeah. That's too much. Then they go to this tuner. And it's like these tuners are whoring them out and taking them from, just taking their money, sending them from shop to shop to shop to shop. Because when your car's broke, most people are still making payments on their car.
Yeah.
And it's their only form of daily transportation. So they have to get it fixed. And then they go from there. I ran into a guy that they tuned his Mustang, and they tuned his Mustang to like 1,500 horsepower. The piston rods they put in his Mustang were rated for, get this, 700 horsepower.
Okay.
They built him an engine, 1,500. Now they have piston rods that would handle the 1,700 horsepower. The price difference was pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Why would a shop do that?
Yeah.
Why would a shop put so basically this is what happened with this shop. This guy brought his engine in. The shop had another car or another engine that was busted up. They told him that they put the 1,500 horsepower rods in. They went and took the rods from this other engine that was underrated. Put it in. How the hell does he know? He doesn't know. Threw it in, buttoned it up. Who's gonna look?
Yeah.
The car's engine, the car threw a rod. The guy was smart enough to pull his own rod, because this guy used to be a hell of a mechanic. Pulled his own rod, called the company that made the rod, and that company said that rod's only rated for 700 horsepower.
I know a lot of people who mod their cars, and I agree with you. I know eventually it blows up, and I know a lot of people who will do a turbo, they'll do this and that. And what I notice is, like, right after they're done building it, I also notice that a lot of these people are selling their cars, and I know they're selling it because there's something wrong with it.
Yeah, they're selling, man. They are getting out of them, and what they're doing is that they're taking their problem and they're passing the problem onto the next guy.
Exactly.
Let me give you an example. It's a guy I know who had a Hellcat. This guy modded his Hellcat. I'm not going to mention the guy's name. The guy modded his Hellcat to the hilt. We're driving down the road. His Hellcat shuts off. I mean, we're on the freeway, and this freaking thing shuts off. He has a pull over to the side. He has a Whipple supercharger on it. The throttle body is giving him problems. He has to sit there for like 10 minutes to let the throttle body cool off. He can crank his car back up, and he can go.
Yeah.
This guy takes his car. He E85 his car. He put injectors on his car. He put the crank on his car. He had put meth kit on the car.
Mm-hmm.
He had done all this stuff to this engine. This guy takes this car because it is throwing him fits. He can't get this car to run right like it used to before he started modding it.
Yeah.
He took his car, converted. He put all the stock parts back on.
No, and you're absolutely right, and that's why I'm so like I'm making sure that when I go to HHP, they understand. Look, I'm not trying to squeeze every little bit of horsepower. I'm literally just doing a little bit.
If you want to understand HHP, go to my video that I did with HHP. The guy is up front. He's honest with you right from the start, and they're going to do a hell of a job for you. Yeah. I have 100% faith in Josh and those guys at HHP. But this guy, JMC, he put his car back together and then took it to a regular car dealership, traded his so-called quote-unquote stock Hellcat in on the Demon. The people had no idea. Can you imagine what's going to happen when the people that bought his Hellcat starts driving it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, this happens all the time.
Yeah. I mean, eventually, you got to realize the injectors were took out of it. He had the fuel pumps. He had to put all that stuff back together. Somewhere down the line, somebody's going to start having a problem with that car. They have no idea what they're driving.
But Herman, you see, this is why I disagree with what you said earlier, that you said you would go for a 2015 Hellcat with some light miles. My biggest concern is I know so many people, even on YouTube, that have these Hellcats. They modded the hell out of them. They raced them like crazy. Then they put them back to stock, and they're trading them in at the dealer. And when you go as an innocent buyer, oh no, it looks like a stock Hellcat. You had no idea this Hellcat's been through hell. That's why, personally, I would go for something. You could go for something used, but something that's practically new. Like I would say go pick up a 2018 Hellcat if you can pick one up that's used with very light miles. It's very new, and the chances that it was ever modded are going to be slim.
Well, to me, you got to do your research. So the way you do your research is you go and find one of these Mopar clubs, right?
Yeah.
And in the Mopar clubs, everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows what everybody has done. So you ask the guys around in the Mopar club, hey, who has a 2015 Hellcat that has not been modded that I could purchase? Who wants to sell one? You'd be amazed.
That's true. That's true.
So-and-so Amy has one. She's never modded it. She loved her Hellcat. but now she wants a wide body Hellcat.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity for her to get out of her stock Hellcat and move on to something else. But you're absolutely right, JMC. Guys take their car just like this guy did. Took his car, put it all back to stock, and now is a time bomb ticking, waiting for somebody, some low innocent family. I mean, come on, man. I just don't have the integrity to do someone like that. You know?
No, I know. I mean, I think I saw somebody. There was another YouTuber that test drove like a highly modded, I think it was a Camaro cam. It sounded beautiful. Like the lopiness of that cam was amazing. And then he just took it for a test drive. He made that video. Then later on, the original owner of that car messaged him saying, "Do not buy this car. This car has major issues, and I traded it in at the dealership. Trust me, you don't want to buy this car." And for that reason, I would never buy a modded car from anybody because I feel like I'm buying somebody else's problem.
Yeah. I mean, the only way you buy a modded car if it is your brother, your cousin, your personal friend that you know that they modded the car right and has not had problems with it. Because modded cars is a bad pair of shoes that somebody's trying to get out of and put you in it.
I agree.
You know?
I agree 100%. I mean, that's why most of my cars have always just been new, but I've always been nervous about used performance vehicles for sure. I mean, there's no question. But like I said, I'm trying to do the reason why I went with the 285 because you better believe I hit up everybody. I harassed SRT Mush. I think I've spoken to even Kevin Van Voris. I've contacted a whole bunch of people, even on the forums, and the word is, doing a 285 pulley is supposed to be like nothing for a Hellcat. That's supposed to be like a very minor mod for a Hellcat.
You know what? JMC, it's two people that I would let touch my car if I was going to do any mods to it. Which I don't believe in modding. One is HHP, which is Josh.
Yeah.
Because that's what they do. That's their specialty. The other is Pike's Performance. I have seen several of Pike's Performance with B. Mason and all those guys. Man, they have a car called a Bravo package, and I have seen that thing run over and over, day in and day out, without any problems with that particular car. The other people are impressed with that car, and this is what both of those guys will tell you. And I've interviewed both of those shop owners.
Okay.
They said when you mod your car, let's put it away. They said, don't mod your car if you're afraid of losing your warranty. Because when you mod your car, the warranty is going out of the window. And they said, no one can give you 100% guarantee.
Right.
Sometimes things happen. So I asked Josh, I said, let's say if I mod my car and something goes wrong. He said, if something goes wrong immediately and you mod your car, he said, we will cover the parts. No, how did he say it? If you will cover the parts, we will cover the labor. Okay. And that's about the best that they can do for. And I mean, you can't go wrong with that. I'm going to cover the parts. They're going to cover the labor, and they're going to put the car back together. They're going to get the car running. I think people get too crazy about modding cars. Like, for example, your Hellcat right now, man, it is a hell of a car. If you would just get the seat time and learn some little seat tricks, man, you will be dominating everybody. Yeah. Like the day when I saw you up there and you were racing, there's no way Stang Mode should have beat you.
Oh, no. Hold on. Stang Mode never beat me, okay? Now, I know you'll disagree because he made it to the finish line before me, but I still did run a better time. I didn't have that much experience. Like, I always raced in Mexico. So I didn't have that much experience with the tree. So he basically just, took off before me. So, of course.
Yeah, so basically, hold on. So hold on. So let's talk about time chasing and racing. So what we were doing that day, we were not time chasing, we were racing on a light.
Okay.
And because you didn't have the skill set to cut a good light, he was able to get to the finish line before you.
Yep.
So in a race on a light, if I red light, you win. If I get to the finish line before you, I win. Now we have a thing that's called a chase is a race. If I red light and you chase me, people bet on all different type of stuff, like odds and stuff like that. basically the only way Staying Mode was beating you was because he had a better reaction time
Yes.
on the light.
Definitely.
I could have fixed your reaction time in about 15, 20 minutes that I guarantee you, brother,
Yeah.
I guarantee you, it's no way in hell he would have been able to beat you with your car with the simple traction modifications that you've done to your Hellcat.
And
So,
I just wanted to let you know, I don't know, you never saw my new tire setup. When I went to Mata Fame Fest, I was running the 305 Mickey Thompson ET Street R's. But honestly, I love these other tires so much better. I bought the same tires, but I bought the 315, I think they're 50s or 55s on the 17-inch wheel.
So what you have is you have a Mickey Thompson ET Street R 315, 50, 17.
The look of the car is amazing. It gives it like a raked look. It lifts the rear up. I mean, honestly, I know this is really stupid, but I love the way it looks so much that in the spring and summertime, it's very expensive. But even on the weekends, when I'm daily driving it around town, I drive it with that setup because it's amazing. I have ridiculous traction even on the street.
Oh man, it is an aggressive look. Now I'm going to tell you one tire that runs better on your car that a lot of people underestimate. I want you to go into the Mickey Thompson website and look at their Street SS tires. Oh my God.
That's a street tire. That's like similar to the Nitto NTO5Rs.
No, it's not. No, it's not. The Street SS has drag compound, but has grooves cut in it for the rain. So you can drive that tire in the weather. The the Street ETR, if it rains, you need to park the car.
Correct.
Period.
But remember, my car is not a daily driver. Like my car doesn't know what rain is.
Yeah. There you go. But I'm just saying, if you want a car with a wider tire and a fatter grip that can get you down the track similar to the ET Street R, go with that Street SS. Oh my gosh. You would be amazed what that Street SS will do.
So do you think that SS is better than the NTO5Rs?
Hell yes.
Really? Okay.
Hell yes. I've ran them both. The this is what you got to realize. The NTO5R is not a true. The NTO5R is similar to the tire that we have on the Demon.
Yeah.
Okay. So imagine this. Imagine the guy that preps the track for the Demon to run its time. Imagine him saying, to regular drag strips are prepped from 0 to about 6.5. 6.5 being a pro mod. For me to prep the track to make the Nitto hook up on it, I had to prep it to about a 10.5.
Okay.
No drag strip preps to a 10.5. So you can take practically any freaking street tire and it's going to stick with a 10.5 prep.
Gotcha.
You kind of understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Now that Street SS, I'll be honest with you, bro. You're probably going to get about 5,000 to 6,000 miles on it, driving it on the street.
But that's the same case with the NTO5Rs. You don't get that many miles out of the NTO5R either.
Brother, I'm telling you, they're two different beasts. Look, go to the drag strip and just look at drag racers. What drag racers do you know are racing Nittos?
Okay.
So what are the top tires that drag racers are running?
The ET Street R's are the most popular one I've seen.
No. Let's look at some name brands. M&H.
Yep.
Mickey Thompson. And Hoosier. I'm talking about for street cars.
Yeah.
You know, now when you get into real dragsters, then you're talking about Mickey Thompson, Hoosiers, and Firestones. I mean, you kind of understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm talking about for no serious drag. If I'm telling you, man, if you pull up at the drag strip with some Nittos on you, drag racers are gonna start laughing. They be like, whoa, hold on, wait a minute. He gonna race me with what? He gonna do what? Why do you think they start laughing?
Yeah. No, I mean, for me personally, I use the NTO5Rs. The Nittos are my street tire, and then the ET Street R's is what I've been using at the track.
Man, I'm telling you what my street tire was on my Hellcat, brother.
Yeah.
Because I tried the Nittos.
Okay.
Imagine this, my Hellcat. I'm going down the freeway at 50 miles an hour, and I floor it
Yeah.
with my nittos. The nittos break loose.
Yeah.
Do your nittos break loose?
Oh no, of course.
Okay, imagine this, put some street SS's on there, and I floor it, and my neck snaps, cause the tires don't break loose.
I think I'm gonna definitely give those a shot. Then I'll definitely, because at least for my street, on my street wheels,
Dude,
I'll do that.
Dude, when you do that, look, I tell you what, when you, man, it's gonna spoil you. Is JMC? It's gonna spoil you so freaking bad.
That's awesome.
That you're gonna be like, I mean, it's gonna be like a crack addict. You're gonna be like 5,000 miles, and you're gonna go back to Discount Tire or wherever you buy them from, and you're gonna say, I gotta have those.
Yeah.
I got to have, even though I'm getting 5,000 to 8,000 miles on them, I got to have those freaking tires because when I punch it, it's going to grip, and you're gonna have wet traction.
That's actually that's not bad though. That's actually I would definitely, I've already gone through a couple of sets of the Nittos, but I'd be definitely willing to try those out to see. But still, and in the summertime, I still love the look of the other ones, the Mickeys that I have, the big ones, the 315s, just because.
Look, if you get these, look, the Street SS. If you go to that website right now, they have some even wider than what the ET Street R's have.
Hold on, you're not saying that the SSs are better than the ET Street R's. I know they're better because of for rain.
I'm telling you this: is some guys running Corvettes, with some with some Street SSs that will bust your ass at the drag strip.
And do they have those for the 17-inch wheels?
Yep, go and look, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, they got them.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
Are you in front of a computer now?
Yeah, I am.
Pull it up so
yeah.
people can see.
Let's go ahead and see. Let's try that out. Let's see, Mickey Thompson.
And then go to Street SS. I think it's in there. I think it's listed in their drag tire category. I don't know for sure. I believe so.
All right. Let's see. Drag tires. ET Street R's. Here we go. SS's. Let's see for the 17-inch. So, but you see, this is for my 17-inch wheel. I don't know if I would run it. I would run them on my stock wheel, my 20-inch. Yeah. But on the 17, what I don't like about this is it's not going to have a tall sidewall like my ET Street R's have like a 50 sidewall. This has a 35 sidewall for the 17. If I get a 315 or a 305, 45 17. So you have a taller sidewall with the ET Street R's that I usually use.
Well, look, I'm just telling you, brother.
Yeah.
Look, this is the thing that's overrated about tires. So your tire is going to give you two things. Your tire is going to be part of your suspension if your car doesn't transfer the weight. Okay?
Yeah.
The other thing about the tire that people are confused with is everybody thinks, oh, I want the tire to crumple up. Oh, I want the tire to crumple up. Man, the first thing my drag coach told me is get that idea out of your freaking head. He said, if that tire is crumpling, guess what? Your car's not moving forward.
Gotcha.
So you want your tire to be able to hook without crumpling. Now, the advantage of the Demon is I can put more air pressure in my tire because it's transferring the weight. Like I was running at the track tonight. I started out with 20 pounds of air, ended up running the car with 24 pounds of air in some Biggie Thompson ET Street R's. Because the Demon transfers enough weight that it pushes that tire to the ground that I can get down the track.
Yeah.
Now what happens is that when I launch, that radial flattens out to give me a good wide patch to get me moving. As I start going, the radial turns up. And now I'm flying down the track. The more air you have, the less rolling resistance you have going down the track.
Yeah, definitely.
So what I'm telling you is that it's guys running that tire on Corvettes, and they are killing it, brother.
Yeah.
Killing it. The Street SS.
I'll definitely give those a shot. And next time I'm gonna put them on my street wheels, my 20-inch wheels. I'll try it on those for sure.
Look. They have some. How wide are your 20-inch wheels?
They're 20 by 11s.
Brother, you gonna be in for a surprise.
I can't wait. No, but that'll be awesome. So the biggest one that they make is a 305 35 20. So that'll fit perfect on the on my street wheels.
Brother, you will be in for a surprise. I'm talking about just regular driving on the street. You go when you hit a concrete pavement like on the freeway.
Yeah.
I just want you to floor it and watch what's gonna happen. Ain't gonna be no spinning.
That's awesome. All right, I can't wait to wait to do
man,
that.
When they say Mickey is sticky, brother.
Very cool.
Yes, sir, it is.
Very
Yes,
cool.
sir. Hey, man, a question I have for you.
Yeah.
What's going on with this new Jeep truck?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you my issue with the Jeep truck. So my problem with it is a JL Rubicon, right? Unlimited, the 4-door. That's already in the price range of like it's in the 50s. I don't know, probably like 55,000, something like that. So now they're going to come out with this new truck version, which means that truck is probably going to be 60. If you get a Rubicon version of it, it's going to be in the 60s, most likely. There's no pricing hasn't been released that I know of yet. Now, my problem is this. It's very long, right? It's a very long truck. So you can't do the same kind of off-roading that I can do with my Rubicon. Like you can't climb over, steep obstacles or anything like that because it's going to get high-centered. The belly of the vehicle is going to get stuck in the air. You can't climb over anything. So now the problem, everybody, I got a lot of hate for this video that I made talking about the truck, but people are saying, oh no, you're not supposed to compare it to this, but I have to compare it to this. I compare it to the Ford Raptor. The reason why I compare it to the Ford Raptor is because now you're getting really close to Ford Raptor pricing. Now, I know this truck is not supposed to compete with the Ford Raptor. It's supposed to compete with other mid-size, pickups. But how can you not compare it to the Raptor when you're already in the $60,000, price range most likely? It's not going to be cheaper than a JL, 4-door. It has to be more money, I'm guessing. So
what I want to know is, can you tow with that truck?
Yeah, you could definitely tow with it. There's no question about it. You can tow. Now, I would recommend if you want to get that truck, I would get the non-Rubicon version. I would just get maybe like a Sport or something like that and just use it to tow, sure. But the Rubicon, you're paying all this extra money for the locking axles front and rear, and you're not going to be, you're just basically going to be like a poser. You're going to be, oh, I got the Rubicon name.
Well, this is what I find here. At least, my sons, my boys are 18 and whatnot, and all their friends. Man, they go out and get these trucks now, and they jack them all up in the air, and put these pretty wheels on them and lights on them. They ain't doing no mudding and going off road and none of that. They just riding high in the air, and they get happy if we catch a flood or something, because they think they're going to be able to drive through the flood and the water washes their ass away, and lucky they don't drown and die. So,
no, and you could go through some water, but don't get me wrong, it's going to be an awesome truck. It definitely will be. But in my opinion, if I want it to be capable like my Rubicon, then what you really need to do is buy like a Sport. Then you're going to rip out those axles, buy brand new axles, so that you can install maybe 40 to 42 inch tires. If you put 40 to 42 inch tires on that pickup, it's going to look sick, and then you could climb over stuff no problem because you're going to have a lot of height.
Okay, the question I have for you, if you go off-roading in a Jeep, because I know Jeep advertises this vehicle as an off-roading vehicle. Yeah. If you go off-roading in the vehicle as a Jeep and it damages something, do they cover it? Is it under warranty?
Like if it's physical damage, no. But if your transmission breaks or an axle breaks or something like that, as long as there's no physical damage, like you didn't slam it against a rock.
They say, it hit a rock.
Yes.
It fell off the edge of a cliff, and that's what caused the damage.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct.
We had a Demon that went down as a drag strip when I was in Florida, and the diff broke. And man, Dodge came in like a boss.
Yeah.
They got this guy. He was panicking. I said, dude, chill out. Dodge has you covered. They call roadside assistance, man. They called roadside assistance. They took his car to a local Dodge dealership. He had no idea what this dealership was. Dealership stayed open late and waited for this guy. It was a Saturday. Put him in a rental car. Sent him back home, man. This dude lived, I want to say, 2, 3, 4 hours away in Florida. Sent him back home. Then Dodge called him and said, your car is 100% covered. We'll have it fixed, and we'll get it to you, or either you can drive that rental car back, and there you go.
Was he stock or no?
Stock. Yes,
Yeah,
stock.
of course. Yeah, I would expect that. Hold on, somebody has a question here for you. So Joseph,
And that was on the drag strip. He broke it on the drag strip.
yeah, well, I mean, well, they should cover it because I mean, the Demon, it's a drag strip car, so they really should be covering that for sure.
Thank you.
So
Yeah, what's the question?
Joseph Barlow's asking if I put Mickey Thompson Street SSs on my wide body Hellcat, will I break the drive shaft on the street? I'm gonna say no, only at the track.
No.
Yeah.
You're not going to break the drive shaft at the street, and you're not going to break the drive shaft at the track.
You don't think it'll break at the track?
No, because the car. See, you got to realize that, guys. Let's just be honest with this. We will not do the Dodge engineers on their research and development. They know what horsepower ratings those axles in that car can take. Now, where you're going to break it is if you mod that car.
Yeah, but hold on, Herman. What about all the I mean, a whole bunch of Hellcats been breaking drive shafts. I mean, it's a well-known thing.
Brother, am I at the drag strip or am I not at the drag strip?
You're in a demon, but you're in a demon though. Also,
no, hold on, listen to me, brother. Listen. Am I at the drag strip a lot?
Every week.
Okay, well, guess what? I'm gonna let you in on something.
Okay.
Most of those guys who's breaking their drive shafts and all that kind of stuff, guess what?
Modded?
Their cars are modded.
Okay.
Hey man, this is what they do. I was at the drag strip with a dude. I mean, we're talking about integrity again, right? This guy, between me and you, I'm not gonna mention his name, mods his car, goes out, breaks his car, but then puts it back together as stock and says, I want Dodge to cover it.
Mm-hmm.
That goes back to what you talked about.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when you buy something used from someone, you don't know what they've done to it.
Exactly.
You know, now, do I see stock demons and stock, you know, Hellcats and stuff like that going down on a regular basis? No. Can they? Yes. But no, the majority of them you see that's busting drive shafts and axles are modded.
Gotcha. I was actually wondering the same thing about my drive shaft.
Yeah. I mean, they're putting way too much horsepower into the car than what it can handle.
Yeah. So I actually just spoke to SRT Bush today. I was talking to him over Instagram, and he was. My question to him was, hey, now that I'm going to be doing that pulley swap on my car, on my Hellcat, will my drive shaft hold up since I have a Demon drive shaft? He says yes. He says that the Demon drive shaft should definitely hold up to the extra power. Because
the Demon drive shaft should hold up to that. Yes. And then it's the other thing that you got to realize, JMC. Some things you want to break on your car, like the axle.
Yeah.
See, imagine this: if you stiffen the axle up and the axle doesn't break, guess what's getting ready to break next?
Diff?
The diff.
Yep.
If you stiffen the diff up and the axle and that doesn't break, guess what's getting ready to break next? Drive shaft.
Mm-hmm.
If you stiffen the axle, the diff, and the drive shaft up, guess what's getting ready to break next?
Transmission.
You just move it on up and on up and on up.
Yeah.
Now, an axle is about $120. And you and your mama could put that axle on the car, right?
Yeah.
So, would you much rather break an axle, or would you much rather break the transmission?
Of course,
so
definitely.
A lot of yeah. You know, the transmission is, man, you're talking about $12,000 if you want to brand new and have it installed and everything done right.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say, oh man, I'm going to beat this up and I'm going to do this, and these are people. Look, when you're at the drag strip, you see this. When you're at the drag strip and the axle break, boy, everybody gets happy.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was just an axle.
Yeah.
It's $125 fix.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, that's. Did you ever install a brace on your rear diff or no?
No. On my rear diff, eventually at first I put a brace on the rear diff, but what gave me problems is that it was dripping. It was letting how can I say some of the fluid to drip out of the rear diff.
Oh, really?
So I took the brace off. Yes, I took the brace off. Now, from my understanding, Dodge has a new brace that's supposed to come in. And when the new brace comes in, that's the brace that I want to put on my car.
Huh. I know SRT Mush actually had. I remember. I'm pretty sure he had a leak on his rear diff with that brace also. Now I haven't noticed a leak on mine. I mean, my car sits in my garage, so you know if mine was leaking, I would definitely imagine I'd have a puddle there.
You know, I think from my understanding, when you run the car on the drag strip and that diff brace, it just doesn't fit. I don't know what you know. Some people were claiming that the bolt was stretching. I really don't believe the bolt was stretching. I just believe it was hard to torque the bolt down.
Okay.
You know.
I'll definitely keep an eye on that though. So once you remove the diff brace, everything was good again.
Yeah, everything's good again. It quit leaking, and what my mechanic did was he drew a mark on the bolt to see if the bolt is moving, but the bolt is turning. And so this was our take of it. The diff brace, they tell you if you use the diff brace, then you don't get it voids the warranty, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't use the diff brace, your warranty is intact. So I guess you just tear the car up.
Yeah.
And get your rear end fixed. Now this is the thing. Most people don't know how to drive their car and when to let out. And that's where you break. I mean, I don't care what kind of diff you get in it. Imagine you're spinning, and all of a sudden you hook.
Yeah.
I mean, you're spinning at a high RPM. And then all of a sudden I just grab everything and hold on to it.
Yeah.
Boom, the diff is going to break. So guys say, oh, you need a forward 9-inch. So guess where? The forward 9-inch holds, but guess where the next brake goes to?
Yeah. No, definitely.
You understand?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, at least with my diff, I mean, I don't know. I think that at least for the power level that I'm at, I'm hoping nothing breaks. And I did the brace because I'm not going to have a warranty like you.
Look, if I was you, what I would do is I would speak to Josh at HHP and ask for his advice, because he's put that car together. He's the research and development for what he's doing to your car.
Yeah.
Not Dodge, because once you do that, Dodge is research development. You put those guys on the side.
Yeah.
Right? So now you got to go with HHP and say, hey, with your research and development, what do you find that holds up? Definitely. And then they'll tell you, oh, you want to do this, or you want to do this, you want to do that. And then I would follow their instruction. Me, myself, JMC, I wouldn't mod it.
Yeah.
Would not mod it. You know, I just wouldn't do it. You know, man, I was at his shop, and I believe that they showed me that pulley when it first came out. And I refused it, you know. They don't want to do it because, man, it's a slippery road. Once you go down that road, when does it freaking stop?
Oh, I'm stopping. You know? This is it for me. I'm not joking around.
All right, brother. All right, I want you to
remember this.
Look, hey, look at your watch. What time is it? Write that time down and write the date down.
No, I promise. Bro. I am 100% sure about this.
Look, bro, I've been there. I used to have a 20th anniversary turbo Trans Am, and I loved it. I drove it around. It was a kick, and I wanted to go just a little faster.
Yeah.
And then a little bit more.
Until it blows up.
Man, it was in it. Man, the Joker, it spent more time in the shop than it spent with me driving it. Yeah. To where it wasn't enjoyable anymore.
Correct. And that's exactly what I'm trying to avoid. That's why the thing with my Hellcat is I'm not planning on getting rid of my Hellcat anytime soon. You know, unless Dodge comes out with this crazy new Charger that they're talking about. But even then, even if they do come out with that, that's not going to happen until 2020 or 2021. So I'm looking at it as I'm going to have my Hellcat most likely for at least another year or two, at least.
Okay.
So I wanted to enjoy it a little bit more, give it a little bit of extra power, you know, and that's it. I mean, honestly, I need it to be reliable.
But but let's talk about that, James. What do you need extra power for?
Honestly, I really don't even need the extra power because I'm already beating everybody almost at that race.
Thank you. Okay,
to be honest.
So what do you need the extra power for?
I think honestly, it'd just be nice to have for the days when I'm hitting the track. You know, just so I could at least get better times and stuff like that. Just have a little more fun with it, so I don't get bored of it. In other words.
Look at this. Okay, so let's look at this. Spinning ain't winning, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what most guys do. They put all this extra power. Man, I was at the track the other day, not naming names. I raced a car. Matter of fact, it was another demon.
Okay.
And this demon was modded.
Yeah.
And I heard, you know, my guy that's at the track with me told me, he said, man, that demon had to been running at least a 75 shot of nitrous.
Oh, wow.
Because how loud it was. You understand? Here's a demon that's running in the fives. I've seen demons with pulleys and, you know, E85s, and they ain't running in the fives, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So this demon is running, man, do you know I beat the car?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's not everybody knows how to drive it like you do.
Man, look, dude, what most people do, JMC, is they say, I want to put more power in my car because I want my car to go faster.
Yeah. Definitely.
Man.
Tires is the first thing I do. Tires is the first thing.
Get you some good tires.
Yeah.
Well, first thing is safety equipment, which you got that. I say get you some good tires to where your car is hooking up and you ain't spinning.
Yeah.
And then learn your car. Learn if you can leave on the second yellow.
Yep.
Or if you can leave on the third yellow. Or if you leave right as the second yellow goes out.
Yeah.
Or do you leave when the third yellow gets really full?
That's what I have to perfect. For sure.
Yeah, man. Once you perfect that JMC, dude, now when you're chasing the time, who cares when you leave? You can sit there 1 minute if you want to.
Yeah.
Your time doesn't start until you cross the beam.
Yep.
So now what you're looking at is how much RPM can I bring into the car before I launch? Now I'll tell you a secret that my race coach taught me. Get up there, do a stagnant, like you're boosting the RPMs up with foot braking.
Yeah.
That's going to fill the torque converter up with a lot of fluid. Do that a couple of times, then go to the light. That's going to give you the ability to bring your RPMs up really high without your car pushing you through the beam.
Gotcha. I remember that you were showing me that at Mod to Fame Fest. I remember.
Yeah, people don't realize, man, I'm bringing my RPM up to like 2,000 RPM, 2,100 RPM, 2,200 RPM before I take off.
Yeah.
Boom. You know?
Gotcha.
And now all you're doing is just cutting the good light. Just learning how to do. And the thing about that is that it's better for your car because what you do is you're not shocking the system, right?
Yeah.
What you're doing is that you're preloading the drivetrain. The drivetrain is torqued up and ready. You know, I try to tell people the way Rod Hudson told me. It's like taking one of those old-timey one of those old planes with the rubber bands on it, and you wind the rubber band up, and and then you let it go, and it flies a little bit. You know, that's what we're doing. We're loading the drivetrain, so everything's already loaded in it.
Yep.
And then when you let it go, boom, it takes off. Less stress on the transmission, less stress on the drive shaft, less stress on the diff, less stress on the rear end, less stress on everything, and your ass is gone down the track.
Yeah.
Now, what other people do is that they flash it. Imagine you just sitting there and somebody slaps the hell out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a shock or what?
Well, that's how you can probably break things more often, I would guess.
That's how you break things more often. But imagine if I was to put my hand on your face and start pushing and give you a chance to push your head back